JuJutsu Kaisen, one of the most popular shonen series that has been going on for a while, and I've decided to go into it to see what all the hype is about. The series about curses, sorcerers, and weird looking creatures have actually got me pretty hooked onto it, and now I'll be talking about why and also giving my first impressions on this series. I also read the manga for it and not going for the anime only route, but I watched episode 1 of the anime and the studio did really well on it. The studio is also working for Attack on Titan Season 4, so I think us Attack on Titan fans have our next season in great hands. But back to the topic of JuJutsu Kaisen. There will be spoilers from chapters 1 to 34, so if you haven't read that much, I would advise you to click off the video right now. So before we get into this, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button and turn on bell notifications. So with no further ado, let's get into the video. So the plot of JuJutsu Kaisen feels like a mix of early Bleach and probably Naruto, and it does it in a really good way. It's not like a bland rip-off version of the older shonens, which make it more enjoyable if you've seen the other shonens. The story is basically about a boy named Yuji Itadori who swallows a finger of an ancient demon named Sukuna, and he continues his journey to find more of the demon's fingers to eat as well. It's pretty crazy out of context, but if you have a context on it, then it's pretty understandable. Jujutsu sorcerer Gojo recruits Itadori as a special grade sorcerer to try to make him stronger for his secret revolution. The plot had me hooked on pretty quickly as I'm a fan of these kinds of battle shonens, but I also hoped for interesting characters, and characters such as Gojo, Mahito, and Sukuna made it come true. The mystery surrounding Gojo and Sukuna just interests me, while Mahito is a creepy antagonist and slick as well. In the Junpei storyline, when he was introduced more, made me get really into his character and really hoping for more. There's also a lot of darker scenes than the average shonen, of course. Not too dark, but pretty dark for a shonen. The part when Sukuna ripped out Itadori's heart was shocking, and when he died, I just thought this as an Eren Yeager moment and he'll just come back a bit later. But seriously, this series already had a lot of hype and intense moments in the early chapters, which really surprised me and blew my expectations away by just thinking it's some normal battle shonen, but instead had a few interesting plot lines. But of course, I wouldn't call it completely amazing just yet. It's good, but not amazing tier at the time being. Now I'll talk about the characters and what I think about them. So first up, I would like to talk about the protagonist, Itadori. Itadori is pretty straightforward, but he doesn't turn out like a generic MC. He has different goals, unlike the I want to be something something goal. He comes off kind of like Ichigo. Like I said before, it had some Bleach vibes, and that Itadori just wants people to have a natural and well-suited death like his grandfather, instead of a gory and unnatural death that the curses cause. He's a pretty enjoyable protagonist, and I can't wait to see how he turns out in the future arcs. Gojo is another person I'm going to be talking about, the so-called strongest Jujutsu sorcerer, and even said by himself that he's stronger than the almighty and feared Sukuna. Gojo is mysterious, chill, and very, very OP. The time he went up against that one guy from Mahito's side, Jogo or something, I just knew this guy was going to lose very badly, even when I hadn't even seen the fight yet. Gojo, who was said to be the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer, up against some cursed spirit goon, who else do you think is going to win? But man, that fight showcased this man's OP power, which kind of makes me wonder if he's stronger than Sukuna, then who's going to be a challenge for him in the future. Another character that I enjoy is Kento Nanami. This man is the total opposite of Gojo, yet equally cool as well. His ability is interesting, and his fight with Mahito was intense. I actually thought he was going to die that early in the series, but I was gladly wrong. He's an interesting character, and there'll probably be a lot of him more in the later arcs, so I'm hoping for that. Megumi and Nobara are kind of cool, but I didn't enjoy them as much as the other characters that I've talked about before. I'm sure they'll shine in the next arc that I'm going into, which is the Goodwill event, and I'm thinking it'll probably be a tournament arc or something like that. And like in Naruto, the tournament arc is where characters other than the main character shines, and I'm hoping for that. Now some things I hope that JuJutsu Kaisen is able to do when I continue reading is to try to develop some of the characters such as Megumi, Nobara, and even Mahito, because I genuinely think Mahito will be a great antagonist in the future after seeing some of the chapters with him. Also, I really hope we get some more information on Sukuna and Gojo, since they seem like they would have very interesting backstories. But I guess Sukuna wouldn't really need a character backstory, but how he affected the past and how he became such a powerful cursed spirit. I really hope these get covered in the future arcs, and it really might be one of my favorite mangas if they're done right. So hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, show some support by subscribing and hitting the like button. I'll be sure to do more videos like these, as I just like talking about the things I'm currently on. If you like JuJutsu Kaisen, stay on the channel, as I might do some more JJK videos in the future. It's been Endless Requiem, peace.